Hey everybody, welcome back to my Eurovision React Review channel. So the purpose of this video was and is to catch up with and watch Kalish Orchestra's new music video for Stefania, their Eurovision 22 winning song for Ukraine, which they released the day after I think they won. It's been out for a while, I still haven't watched it. But I mean, perfect timing, because today the BBC News, in top 10 news items on their website, reported, and a lot of the world's media has reported, that Kalish Orchestra have selflessly decided to auction what has happened, right? Auction off their trophy and the funds going to the war effort to assist the Ukrainian military in defending their sovereign state. So I believe the winning bid, it was a cryptocurrency company, right? 900,000 euros or euros, I think. And I did see today, I really wanted to kind of research into it because I saw the news item this morning and I was like, so I was walking to work and I didn't have mixed emotions. Fundamentally, I have no issue with Kalish Orchestra selling off a material item. I'm quite Buddhist in my kind of outlook on kind of material things. They're very kind of transient. They break, they can come, they can go. They are, to a point, meaningless. But what the trophy represents or symbolizes is significant, winning this amazing contest, which we all love so much. But yeah, I read the BBC article and then I read the Wee Wee Blogs article on it, and they've been very, very clear. And I think it's quite clever to be quite clear on this, because evidently there would be some people who obviously based on their feelings that Ukraine's win was only political and shouldn't have happened. I'm not in that camp. I want to make that very clear. My channel and my past few videos have made it very clear that I'm extremely happy with Ukraine's win, and I'm extremely, and not even being Ukrainian, overwhelmed with the support that the kind of rest of Europe and the periphery gave to Ukraine on that night, in the sense of solidarity. We're behind you and we're supporting you and we're thinking about you. Because I do think on that night there was a lot of people that picked up that phone. The majority of people picking up that phone because they liked the song. They would never have picked up that song for a phone for a bad song. I genuinely feel that. But that night, I think people tuning into Eurovision, there was something that they could do. They felt that they could do to show their support and solidarity for Ukraine. So obviously, being British, coming second, you would think that I would be upset, distraught, felt robbed. I didn't feel any of those things. I felt so proud for the UK. And that night with Ukraine's win, I just kind of felt a bit more kind of hope in humanity, basically. So really, really well-deserved win. I want to make that clear because I'm now starting to find with this Eurovision channel, a lot of people are tuning into one or two videos and quoting me and commenting, and they're not subscribers. They don't understand the full narrative, i.e. obviously I'm posting videos in a chronological order and my ideas and my thoughts change. Like, someone tuned into my Moldova video the other day and they were like, how wrong were you? And I was like, mate, that video was months old. That was my first reaction. I've said many a times leading up to Eurovision, this song's going to do well. You're obviously not a follower of my channel, but I will forgive you for that, because why would you be? So yeah, it's probably quite clear to make that straight now, my thoughts on Ukraine's win, because there will be casual viewers who tune in just this video and they won't know. So I checked, and basically I thought it was quite clever that they basically made it very clear where this money is going to, because no doubt there will be, and there has been, quite a bit of hostility among some people, the fact that in some people's eyes, this song contest is now very much part of the war and conflict that is happening in Ukraine. Now, if you do your research, they've made it very clear where this money is going to. They're going towards drones. They are DDZ drone. I wrote it today. DDZ drones, which are for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. I would try to ask someone today how to pronounce that. They said it better than I did. Basically, the point of the drones is it's threefold. It can carry and drop medical equipment. It can carry and drop ammunition for the Ukrainian army. But also, more importantly, it can be used in a way to defend the Ukrainian army, to see if and where, obviously, opposition troops are. And I mean, we're seeing very much in the news the last few days that, I mean, to quote Zelensky, it's a very difficult situation in East Ukraine at the moment, and they are very much outnumbered, and you know they are dealing with and they are up against a force, and at the end of the day, these are Ukrainian soldiers defending their country in a battle they never started and didn't want. So, I mean, if this money is going towards drones to help them stay alive, I mean, I read a BBC article today about this 19-year-old boy. It was like 4 months apart. They spoke to him just as the war broke out, and he was really optimistic and really positive. And they spoke to him to be on the front line right now, to be a Ukrainian soldier. It's unimaginable for me, particularly. So, I mean, if these drones are going to assist Ukrainian soldiers to stay alive, trying to defend their country, I have no issue with that because I'm a human. There are some things more important than a song contest. And at the end of the day, Kalish Orchestra, their official stance is, we won Eurovision and we want to help Ukraine win this war. And if this trophy and the funds for that trophy can do that, then why not? That makes total sense. And at the end of the day, I did, because it's always quite good to do a bit of research before these videos. I went to Weebly Blogs deliberately because even though I will say the comments that come under those articles, I really don't value much. There's some great people there trying to keep people grounded, but there are just a lot of kind of fake accounts, bots, and just people who feel the need to kind of say their opinion, but in such a way that they know that they're going to be antagonizing. And I mean, there was obviously a few people saying, should Eurovision be embroiled in a conflict, in a war? Well, at the end of the day, this is no ordinary year. As far as I can see, everything, Wimbledon back in the UK, everything is embroiled in this war. So why would the Eurovision Song Contest be any different? Why would that be separate from that? Everything is to do... I mean, it is the Eurovision Song Contest. It is geographically located in this region. Yes, obviously you have other countries just outside that and Australia, but nonetheless, how naive would you be to think this contest wouldn't be embroiled with this conflict, the biggest conflict we've had in this region since World War II. So that would be very, very naive. At the end of the day, it's a piece of glass. It's a piece of glass, and I'm a human. And I'm a human before I'm a Eurovision fan. And as far as I can see it, this money is going to help troops defend their country in a war that they didn't start. So, yes, no issue with that at all. Have no issue with it. It's a piece of glass. It's a material object. I mean, blimmin' hell. Emily DeForest broke. It's broken. It breaks. It's immaterial. Anyway, the second thing I want to say before I get into what I'm supposed to be doing, and that is watching the music video of Kalish Orchestra, and that is to talk about, Benny from ABBA. I do feel first of all, I made some notes. What did Benny say from ABBA, bless him? He said, when asked about his thoughts of Eurovision this year, he basically said he doesn't really watch it anymore. He says it's too much. Bless him. I don't know. I mean, it is. I mean, the show is. What the show is now, even to 10 years, everything has been amplified, which I kind of love, right? Too many countries. for me, not enough countries. And it's not fun anymore. I mean, you've got to realise this is all said by him. And I just feel that he was asked a question about Eurovision at obviously the premiere of Voyage. He evidently doesn't really watch the contest anymore, so he doesn't have any really serious opinion. He's just answering a question. I don't think these are things that he is like passionate about and is willing to kind of, you know, campaign about. He was asked a question about Eurovision. He evidently hasn't watched it for a while, and he's just said that. Sure. He did say if Ukraine had not been at war, then the UK would have won. I mean, the premiere was in the UK, right? So I mean, I don't know who asked this question, but I would say maybe it could be the UK press. So saying something that the UK press wants to hear, but he's not saying anything that a lot of people haven't already said. In my opinion, Benny is part of ABBA, and for me, ABBA is everything. Like, I grew up with ABBA and country western music. ABBA from my mum, country western music from my dad. I mean, Muriel's Wedding is like my favourite film of all time. I mean, ABBA is so ingrained in our family, without being too depressing about it. Like, it is also kind of taken part in kind of some of our funerals as well. So, you know, Benny can do no wrong in my eyes. And I mean, I'm sure he could say something that's really offensive that would make me think, but what he said here is just, it's just his opinion, and like, he's not saying anything really, really bad. And it's quite interesting where people are trying to challenge what he said. Like, bless him, he just said, you know, all songs are in English now. Well, yeah, you could say, well, your song was in English. And yeah, you could say, well, out of the top 7 this year, 6 of those 7 were sung in their native tongue, because the UK sung in English is our native tongue. Well, majority of us. I know there's obviously Gaelic and whatever. But the only song not to sing in their native tongue was Sweden. But again, like, that's a low hit to an absolute legend. I won't go there. He just obviously doesn't care about the contest anymore, and that's fine. And you know, you do outgrow things, and the contest has evolved hugely since he partook in it. So, I mean, it's fine. Benny, you are my hero, and the songs that you've given me through your career is part of probably my identity. I know that sounds pretty extreme, but hey, it is what it is. Right, okay, so let's get into the purpose of this video. And the purpose of this video is to watch the music video that Kalish Orchestra released after winning Eurovision. It's the new music video, because there is another one that I watched before Vidbeer, actually. So let's check it out. Again, it's almost like saying all of those things at the beginning of this video is moot, after obviously seeing they're obviously this. I don't know where in Ukraine this is filmed, but obviously this is a part of Ukraine that is experiencing obviously the offensive actions of the Russian army. And what was it that, what did I say the other day? Like, over 2,000 children have already died in Ukraine as a result of this conflict. I mean, to be honest, seeing children involved in conflict is enough to kind of, yeah, break me. I think, was it after they won or when they performed? I think after their performance in the final, they said, please help Mariupol, right? Is that Mariupol? And we see these images every day on the news of just more and more places in Ukraine, obviously just being flattened because they're being liberated. How you liberate an area by flattening it makes no sense to me whatsoever. Perspective. Just a humanitarian perspective, I think, is needed when conversations are being had about Ukraine's victory and Kalish Orchestra wanting to sell their trophy to assist and aid their army to protect their country against an invading force that they did not ask for. Do you know what? The one thing that I absolutely respected Kalish Orchestra for the whole way before Eurovision and at Eurovision was not once did they use the empathy card. I mean, there is so many things they could have done with their staging. There is so many things they could have done with their promotion leading up to Eurovision that could have really played on what is happening in Ukraine, and they didn't do any of that. They let the music do the talking. They've always kind of approached Eurovision as a way of showing the strength of Ukraine, as far as I could see it. And again, this music video, it's showing the destruction that's happened. And yes, obviously, we can see the human faces of human suffering. We can see the girl. But this is very much a song about the music video, sorry, is very much strength. The strength. I don't know whether the female soldier is the mother or regardless of who her relationship is with that child, is about strength. I love that. I will say, it was ESC Tom. He's a Eurovision YouTuber who I love and really look up to. He said a comment about this music video saying, and rightfully so, the fact that this song was released straight after Eurovision, this had been done weeks in advance. This is ESC Tom saying this, not me. So the fact that they held on to this music video, like I said, going back to what I was trying to say before, nothing about their campaign to win Eurovision was about trying to gain sympathy. And so they held on to this video because, again, imagine obviously this video had released before. People, I wouldn't want to have seen the kind of comments kind of said to the Ukrainian delegation and this band about like trying to evoke emotions. They never did that. Like I said, from my experience, they tried to let the music do the talking. I don't know how people feel about this. So I said this when I was reviewing I don't know which video it was. This is a song which makes you want to do this, but your body wants to do it, but your brain kicks in and basically says, is it poor taste? Because, yeah, when you hear this song, you connect it with what's happening. And so it does seem quite distasteful to enjoy this song as an upbeat song and detach it from, obviously, what's happening in Ukraine. It's really hard. Certainly a huge kind of female empowerment message in that video. I mean, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? If you think about the original video was certainly more kind of upbeat, colourful, and that was obviously before we now know what we know. And that was before Vidbir, that was before Russia declared war on Ukraine. And then obviously this video seems obviously more apt, more contextually appropriate, I guess. I've been meaning to do a kind of roundup video of 2022, but things keep happening that kind of sidetrack me. But anyway, if you're still here at the end of this video, please stay safe. And yeah, until next time, stay safe.